What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to TWR. My name is Tavian. This is my world of reptiles, and I hope you are all doing awesome and taking care of yourselves. It's another early morning here in the reptile world, and right now I'm actually hanging out with Zuko, my boy Dunrose Boa. Now, I have had Zuko since 2018, so about 4 years. Now, I think a lot of people might look at him like, wow, he's about 4 or 5-ish years old. I think he was a couple months old when I got him, so he's a little bit over 4 years old. And I think a lot of people might see him and think, wow, shouldn't he look more like that? Like, this is my big girl. That is my girl, Bellatrix, right there. And I think a lot of people will see her and they think, well, he should be about that size. But I'm personally just not a fan of trying to get my snakes to this massive size very quickly. And I think a lot of people do shoot for that for various reasons. I think a lot of people will shoot towards that, if they're breeding and they're trying to hurry up and get their breeding snakes up to size, or if they just generally want that big size snake very quickly, they do tend to feed very heavily in order to get to that. I'm not a big fan of that. Now, I'm not saying that there's any perfect way of going about doing this. I'm not saying that I did things correctly. I'm not trying to judge anybody who does have a 4-year-old snake that's easily 4 times this size already. I'm not saying you did anything correctly. I personally just feel like I raised him at a pretty beautiful, decent rate where he was just growing nicely and at a rate that's going to be healthy, that's going to give him the longest amount of life he can have. He has never looked underweight. He has never looked overweight. He's always just looked absolutely perfect. So I know that, anybody out there who might be seeing that might have that concern. Everybody does things differently. Some people want to feed a little bit heavier and their snakes are going to be perfectly fine. Some people feed a little bit slower and their snakes are perfectly fine. Everybody's going to do things just a little bit differently. And there's no one way fits all when it comes to how often you are feeding your snakes or whatever route you're choosing to take. So anyway, Zuko here has been with me for about 4 years, and when I originally got him, I was like, he's just a pet. I will never, I'm not into breeding. That was a long time ago. I was not into breeding at that point. But then, of course, I got Bellatrix down here. Now, Bellatrix is about 16. Well, she was about 16 when I got her, and I've had her for, I think, a year now, and maybe a little less than that, because it was after I started working at the store. So it was it's about less than a year. And so she's probably close to 17 now, if not at 17 already, and she's already had multiple different litters, or I guess, yeah, she's already had babies. And so she's already done that thing. Now, Zuko has never done that thing. He's never done any of those things, and this summer I decided I'm going to make a decision. I'm going to decide what I'm going to do, if I'm going to actually breed these guys or not, because he's definitely of the age where he can, and he's definitely bigger than when he first got here. He's easily, he was about a third of the size when I first got him, so he's grown a lot, and I definitely felt like he was ready to potentially breed, and if she was going to be willing and receptive, and she has already had babies before, I know that she's absolutely already at the breeding size. I just needed to make sure that he was, and so this summer, though, I thought about it, and I made the decision that I was going to breed these guys, and so, come September, or early September, I'm on my knees, and it's starting to hurt. Ugh. So come early September, I made the decision to go ahead and make the plans work towards starting to breed these guys. And so by the end of September, I had already taken him out of his enclosure and I had put him in a tub, and I was keeping him in my bathroom. Now, my bathroom is significantly cooler. Well, not significantly, but at least easily 4 or 5 degrees cooler than the rest of my house. And so I really just wanted to give him a cooling period in there. And so I had him in there for like a week. Now, during the summertime, I have everybody's heat pads are off during the summertime, and so Bellatrix here was just pretty much on ambient temps as well as everybody else. And so I decided that while he was in his cooling stage, that she was going to get her heat turned back on. So I plugged in all her stuff and I got her heat turned back on so that her temps can be where they need to be. When it comes time for her to start actually making babies, we want to make sure that temps are exactly where they want to be. Otherwise, we're just going to end up with a bunch of slugs and whatnot. Now I'm not even sure how successful we're gonna be this year, but about so I put him in there. Like I said, I put him in the bathroom, like really near the end of September. Let him chill out for like a week, and then I moved him into her space, and she was just not interested in him. He was definitely very much so interested in her. He was definitely following her around, very much so. He wasn't quite doing anything, with his little his little spurs yet. He wasn't doing any type of stimulating yet, but he was very interested in her, and she just didn't seem really pretty much indifferent to him. She just kept moving to the opposite side of wherever he was, and or just like letting him lay on her and not even giving him any mind. But after about a month, I did walk in and I got to snap a picture of this. Now, yes, this is the very first lock that I actually got to witness from these two. And I mean, I did not, obviously, I wanted to take a video, but I didn't want to sit there with lights on. It was dark. They were doing the thing. It was my very first time seeing them doing it, and I didn't want to ruin that. I didn't want to mess them up. I didn't want to just cause too much of a disturbance, so I just snapped a quick picture, and then I left them to it. But that was the very first time that I actually saw them locked up, and I have witnessed them locked up a couple of times since. One other time since. I have seen him actually working his spurs and doing his thing to try to stimulate her and get her going. I've seen her kind of bucking her body a little bit, trying to look like she's kind of being receptive a bit. And I've definitely seen him trying to work his tail up under hers, even though she wasn't quite like being receptive at the time. So I've seen him definitely working at it, and I have seen them locked up officially twice. And I'm not saying that that's the only times they've been locked up, but I am feeling super hopeful that we're gonna have some babies here, and by next summer, and I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I really hope they do, because I mean, he is amazing. I mean, he's obviously with Doomer Bros. They have a lot of that red, those pinks, those just really amazing peach colors all over them when they are younger. And of course that fades out and it goes away. But I think he had a lot of those amazing colors. I didn't get to witness her when she was a baby, so I really don't know. But I know that she looks like she's an amazing adult. She's absolutely just fabulous. She's got such a great iridescence on her, and I think they're gonna make absolutely amazing little babies. It's just gonna be one exciting time to wake up one day or come into the room one day and to see a bunch of little baby Doomrose boas, or at least I hope. I'm really hoping. I know that she's up there in age. She's like 16, 17 years old. I don't really know exactly if there's like a cutoff period where like maybe boas stop doing the deed as much, where maybe the breeding process just taking its toll too far, or their bodies are too old and they're just gonna produce slugs. I don't 100% know. I'm kind of new to all this breeding stuff. I'm just kind of learning as I go, and I'm just kind of rolling with it. I'll learn more as I go. I'm just kind of doing this on my own and figuring it out. I do have obviously some people that I can ask questions to and stuff like that, but I'm just throwing myself in it, and I'm just doing it, and I'm super excited. And this boy is breeding his very first time, and he's doing a good job. He's done his job. He's definitely worked at her. He's definitely smooth talked her. He's made it so that she's like, all right, I'll have your babies. But he's doing a good job for his very first year, and I'm super excited for it. I really hope it works out. I'm gonna keep him in there for a little while longer. I'll definitely want to have him removed for sure before the babies actually come, just because of the fact that I know mommy's gonna get defensive. Obviously, parents to snakes are not the most. Snakes are not necessarily the largest parental thing, but they do have certain levels of parental abilities that they will do to defend their babies, even whether that's eggs or whether they're actual babies. Doesn't matter. They will definitely get defensive around this period of time, and so I definitely wouldn't want him around when she's feeling that level of defense. And also, I would hate for him to just think, oh well, these are nice little snacks. I'll just go ahead and eat these up. So I don't want that to happen either. So definitely we'll have to remove him well before those babies even get here. But I'm gonna keep him in there a little while longer, hoping to get them to just keep on locking up as many times as possible over the next like couple of months. And because he's already done a good job, he's already locked for sure a couple of times. I can't confirm that he hasn't done more than that. But yeah, so I'm gonna have to keep watch on him. Now, what's really funny about Doomlow's boas and other, and boas in general, I feel like from what I was seeing, is when I was doing my research, a lot of things were saying that you don't stop feeding them. Now, not a lot of people, like if you look at ball pythons or whatever, there's like this whole push during a certain. My storage is getting full, so I gotta wrap this up. But there is a phase where you got with ball pythons where you push a lot of food on them, and then they'll stop eating during the breeding process, and then because they're gonna deplete so much energy. With boas, I don't have to do that. I'm gonna continue to feed all the way through it. They're gonna continue to take food all the way through it. I'm definitely feeding a little bit heavier than I normally would, just because this is a straining time for them. But like I said, my storage is definitely doing some things. I really need to clear this phone out. I got a lot of back videos and stuff from like that's already been posted that I could just clear off my phone now. So I just need to do that. So just because I don't want this to do it again, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up, and I will talk about it more tomorrow or on another video. So you all take care, love yourselves, love your loved ones, love your reptiles, and you all keep spreading those herbs. And congratulations to the brand new father and the soon-to-be mama. Bye, y'all.